Okay, the first speaker.
Yeah, the first speaker is Mathilde Rieu. She comes from École des Mines in Saint-Étienne. Okay, yes. You have the title here. I think that.
Okay, we'll let you introduce. Okay, so let's go. 15 minutes.
Good morning, everyone. So I will present you the work done by Carole Nadour, so in collaboration with Mines Saint-Étienne and IRSE Lyon in France, and funded by La Région Auvergne-Rhône-Alpes. So the work deals with the protection of NOx sensors from sulfur poisoning in glass furnaces application by the optimization of SO2 trap. So my talk will be divided in 4 parts. First, the introduction, then we will see in material methods section the synthesis of the trap and the development of the sensors. To follow with the result and discussion part with the trap characterization and the NOx sensor responses, and we will finish with the conclusion. So our concern is around the gas pollution in the air, and mainly in our case for NOx pollution. So NOx gases are the precursor of acid rain, are also for photochemical smog, and are known to cause human health damages. So we know that in glass furnaces application, there are 25 tons per year of NOx that are emitted. So there is a real need of low cost and robust sensor, NOx sensor, to onboard the control NOx emissions. So at the École des Mines de Saint-Étienne, we work for more than 20 years on the development of an electrochemical NOx sensors. This sensor is based on the scheme that you can see. Oh. Yes, here. So the electrolyte is in yttria stabilized zirconia, and there are 2 electrodes, one in the working electrode in gold and the reference electrode in platinum. And the working principle is the measurement of the difference of voltage between these 2 electrodes. The main problem of this kind of sensor is the cross sensitivity to other pollutants, as many gas sensors. In order to solve these problems, we choose 2 approaches. First, we apply a polarization current with the addition of a 3rd electrode here in platinum that we call the counter electrode. This allows to get a selective NO2 response by here polarizing the working electrode negatively and eliminate some interference. And the second way that we play with is adding a catalytic filter that is composed of platinum particles dispersed onto an porous alumina support. With this, we are able to remove the interferences of CO or hydrocarbons, mainly the reducing gases. And we also get the thermodynamic equilibrium between NO and NO2. That means that we have a NOx sensor, a global NOx response. And combining these 2 solutions, we got a NOx selective sensor. The limiting point in the application of the glass furnaces are the sulfurs. Indeed, there is SO2 in the glass furnace stream, and it is poisoning the sensor. As we can see on the graph here, in red, there is a sensor response. And here you can see if we inject 100 ppm of CO, there is nearly no response. And when we inject 100 ppm of NO2, there is a huge negative response that corresponds to the normal function working of the sensor. And here in this graph, when we add 20 ppm of SO2, we can see here the response that is totally disrupted. And then the response to NO2 is largely lower. So the poisoning of the sensor is confirmed. So the objective of this work is to develop a SO2 trap in order to protect the NOx sensor from sulfur poisoning. The specification of this trap are the following. So it has to have a high SO2 absorption capacity, a great durability. It will be a remote sensor trap and placed upstream the sensor. So it has also to do not modify the NOx concentration in order to let the sensor do its work. To do that, we will choose support and active phases. So the trap will be the support of the total trap will be composed with organized mesoporous silica called SBA15. This support is known to have a high specific surface area and a high porous volume, a high thermal stability because this trap will work in temperature also. It's chemical inert towards SO2 and it's relatively low cost support. And for the active phases, we choose two, in fact. We choose copper oxide because we know that it has a significant oxidation activity for SO2 to SO3, and then a good chemisorption capacity from SO2 to copper sulfates. And the regeneration at low temperature is also possible. And the second active phase is that we have chosen is barium oxide. It's a material that has been studied in diesel post-treatment for NOx storage. It has shown a high ability for sulfation, so it's really interesting. And it is also known that barium sulfates are more stable than barium nitrates. That means that it could be in the good way for our application. So we studied the various composition of this trap, and the percentage of active phases have been modified. And after comparison of adsorption-desorption cycles, we choose the trap with the composition mentioned here, 6.5% copper oxide, 5% barium oxide, supported by the silica. So I will show you the results obtained with this selected trap. For the preparation of the trap, we use the impregnation method. So the copper oxide precursor is dissolved in water. The silica is added into, and we stir the solution until total evaporation of the water. Then it's dry and sinter at 600 degrees for 5 hours. After that, we add the precursor of barium with the same steps. Regarding the NOx sensor fabrication, it is totally prepared by screen printing. So we start with an alumina plate, and we will come with all the elements that we will deposit by screen printing. So on one side, we will have the sensing side, so with the YSZ electrolyte, the 3 electrodes, and the catalytic filter. And the other side, there is a heating element in order to get a self-supported sensor. And the measurements of the efficiency of the sensor are done with this test bench, classical test bench, and we add, after the mixer, the SO2 trap system. So the stream will be passed here into the trap and then descend to the sensors. And we add also a SO2 cylinder. We can also notice that we have here gas analyzer at the outlet in order to check the concentration at the end. So let's go with the NOx sensor response without and with the SO2 trap. So here, the sensor is working at 500 degrees under a polarization of 50 nanoamperes with a catalytic filter. The base gas is composed of 5% of oxygen, 1.5% of water, and balanced with nitrogen. We can see here the response in black, sorry. So to 100 ppm of NO2 and here to 100 ppm of NO. And we can see so negative response that are the response that we are waiting for. So this is the classical response for our sensor without trap. Now we add the trap and we do the same test in order to see if there is an influence of the trap on the NOx response. So the trap is working at 500 degrees also. And we can see that with or without the trap, the response are similar for NO2 and NO. Here I show you the gas analysis responses. So NO2 in pink, NO in light blue, and the total NOx in dark blue. If you look without the trap and with the trap, there is no NOx concentration that has been changed by the addition of the trap. So the NOx sensor response is not affected by this. And it's a good point because if NOx was stored by the trap, the study will be finished. So we can continue. So without the trap, you can see here the influence of adding the SO2. So I already show you, but here you can see before adding SO2, the NO response is a classical one. And as we add SO2, the response is totally disrupted. And after, even injection of NO is not visible and the baseline is totally lost. So there is a significant poisoning of the sensor by SO2. So here it's 40 ppm in the base gas. If we add the trap upstream the sensor, it's different. Here you can see that we have repeat the injection of 100 ppm of NO and 40 ppm of SO2 several number of times. You can see that there is a stable response to NO for 23 hours. You can also see that there is no SO2 degradation. So there is a total absorption of SO2 from here to here. So for 4 hours of injection of 40 ppm of SO2. So if we calculate this for glass furnace condition, that means with a different flow and concentration, we calculate that we can protect the NOx sensor from the poisoning for up to 3 months with only 200 grams of the trap. So it's totally consistent and feasible at an industrial scale. Here you can see SEM micrographs and X-ray mappings of the non-sulfated trap at the top, and here of the sulfated trap. You can see that the copper-based particles and barium-based particles are homogeneously dispersed before the test and also after the sulfation. And there is no modification of the dispersion after sulfation. And we can see also, if you look at the S element here, that there is S into the trap. So we identify the sulfur-based particles, both on copper oxide and barium oxide phases. We confirm this by thermal analysis of the sulfated studied trap. Here you can see in black the thermogravimetric analysis, and in red the derivative weight. You can see copper carbonate decomposition here at low temperature, copper sulfates between 500 and 750, and at high temperature we can see barium sulfates decomposition. So barium oxide sites are probably more active than copper oxide for CO2 adsorption here, as we can see. To summarize, so we synthesize the trap with a proportion that allows us to get a NOx sensor response that is not affected by the trap. So the modification, the NOx adsorption is not, there is no NOx adsorption in the trap. And we can get a total protection of the NOx sensor for 3 months with less than 200 grams. So we have a successful trap developed for this application. And I thank you for your attention.